Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. I'm out here in the shed and I have some miscellaneous shed stuff to get done today. Firstly, I wanted to take a look at my prairie seed. All of the stuff in this box here is grasses. I have other seed that's in the fridge in the house, and most of that is wildflowers. Most of them are endangered wildflowers that are native to this area. And these are all prairie grasses that are native to the area. This is what I'll be planting by seed this year. This is it. Some of it will be planted in the greenhouse, not much. Mostly the seeds that are in the fridge will be planted in the greenhouse, but the front gardens are going to have pre-emergent sprayed on them this spring. So that way I can see what is already growing there without having a ton of weeds and grasses growing up in there like foxtail. I'll be able to see what's actually in there naturally and plant grasses and forbs around it, flowers. Forbs are broadleaf stuff. I'll be able to plant around it with various combinations of this stuff. So let's just see what we got here. These all have to go, these are going into the fridge that's in the shed over there, or not shed, but we call it the barn, but it's a little shed. This is Side Oats Grandma, Indian grass, 3 pounds of Indian grass, 1 pound of side oats. And what do we got here? Little blue stem, a favorite around here. And big blue stem. And this stuff, I believe, can get 10 feet tall, or actually even bigger than that. So this will go in the various places that I killed off last year, and will be killing off again in the spring, spraying down glyphosate. The biggest impediment to growing these prairie grasses is competition. You want to have the area that you're planting them in completely killed back as much as possible. So it's best to kill back in a couple different seasons, a warm season and a cool season at a minimum. But some of mine have gone through cool, warm, cool again last year, and then they'll go through a cool season this spring, which they'll be sprayed, and the beginning of a warm season where they'll be sprayed again. So that should get rid of most of the weeds. Then I'll be able to plant. Then I use 2,4-D, and that'll get rid of the majority of the broadleaf weeds. And then next year, those areas will get pre-emergent spray to stop any grasses, native grasses, well, not native, but weed grasses and forbs, and allow this to just take off, like I'm doing with the little blue stem garden this year. So that's it. These are going to go in the fridge. The fridge is the fridge that's in the barn over there. When it does warm up, you get a day where it gets 70 in there inside the little shed. The fridge will turn back on and keep this stuff refrigerated. This won't get planted until the warm season starts. So end of June, this will get planted. except for the stuff that I plant in the greenhouse. So I'm going to go get this into the shed in a little bit. I also need to get this tire off. I'm just going to take it to the local hardware store and have them fix it so I can get this out of here. I can't have this in here. Then I can move this forward. So what I really need to do today, I'm going to grab my wiring diagram and figure out what I need to do. I'll do that tonight. Figure out what I need to do with this to finish it up. I may need to weld that. I have a jacked up bolt that came with this alternator. I may have to have somebody tack weld it. I have a welder. Where did I put the welder? It's over there. I have that new welder. We still haven't fired it up because I still haven't put in the outlet for it, which is going to go right over here somewhere. I'll be doing that shortly too. So what else do we have? Oh, I'm going to try to get this deboxed today. Do an unboxing. Just make sure that it's not broken. I'm going to try not to break the packaging. And then I'd like to get it back into the box and taped off if it's okay. I got to get in back here. I came up with a new idea for this compressor. I was going to go through the wall with it right up there, have a a half-inch nipple is what I planned on using. But now I have a slightly different plan, and I got to see if it's going to work. The compressor is going to go right about here. I got to pull the electrical through the wall. It's already wired into the wall. I have, where is that? Oh, there's all my stuff for it. I have a low voltage emergency off switch. I have a regular disconnect switch. Those both go right above it on the wall. And then the air line is going to curve up. And then I want it to curve up and then connect and go straight up through there. And I'm not sure if I can or not. Been thinking about it for a couple days, but haven't gotten around to looking at it. See, I'd like it to go right up through the wall there and then follow this this post right here. Follow it up somewhere where I can cross over. I could go all the way up to the top, but I have electrical in the way up there. I'm going to have to ponder on that a little more. And yeah, I could go. See, I can't go through the wall here because I would have to go through all kinds of crap to get around. I'm not drilling through the post at all. I want to come out on one of the big sides. I have pipe right there, but I could go right behind it. And I can come out, it's a few curves, but I can come out right over here and then up against it and then go straight up. Then I can tee off and come over to here, put an outlet over here. I have a hose reel for over there, and I'd like to get another outlet on that side. It's always nice to have a good amount of airline outlets so you're not running stuff around a vehicle and tripping on the hose. Really, I just want to see if it is possible, because I'm sealing up this wall, and if it's possible, I want to get it done. Okay, so I have a stud connected right to the post right there, but I believe I can go right up through there. I'll have to get back in there. Yeah, it's possible I will have to go right through the wall here instead of going through all that crap. Yeah, getting the compressor stuff in this wall will allow me to finish this wall, which I really need to do because I have all this material, the drywall. I have the drywall for it. I have a big sheet of melamine that's going to be turned into shelving, which will go up top. So I really want to get rid of all this stuff so I can get at my shelf there. And I can put a ton of stuff up onto here. See, it's going to have drywall going across the whole thing, and then at yay high 4 feet or so, it's going to have more of that slat wall going all the way across. So I could put a ton of different little shelves and stuff and start getting more of this stuff up off the ground. And, well, a lot of this is going upstairs too, but... Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is pull all this stuff off the wall so I can get at this. This is definitely going to be next. I got to get the insulation to put in the wall. If you've seen a previous video, we got this soundproofing insulation, but on further investigation, the gains that you get from using this stuff is just not worth the price. I mean, it's not in a house, it's out in the shed, and I already have the compressor in a different room, and I'm going to have 2 layers of drywall on the inside wall with green glue in between the 2 layers, which really stops the sound transmission. So it's going to be quiet enough. I don't want to be out here working and hear much of the compressor. I know I'll hear it a little bit, but I really don't want to hear a loud compressor, so it's kind of important to me. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to get this off and load it up and run those seeds over. Okay, this is just a simple cotter pin holding this on. So unless something goes seriously wrong, this should be pretty easy to take off. Cotter pin. Both tires are flat. There we go. I like these little bags for little parts like this. Try to keep everything together. So just set that on top of there. Throw these in the back of my truck, the 2 tires. Put that in the fridge. And I gotta take some measurements on this wall. The building itself is 24 feet wide. And I'm not exactly sure if this is 12 or a little over 12. And it really makes a difference because 12 feet is 1.5 sheets of drywall. If it's more than that, then that sucks. And I do believe it is more. So I got to get some measurements, and then I'm going to pull some of this stuff off the wall. Well, that does that. This insulation down at the bottom here, that was left over from when we insulated the walls in here. It was just shoved in there because we had hunters in this room here last year, and we needed to trap the heat in there. That'll come out of there, and then the wall needs to be finished down to the ground like it is there. In there, then I gotta insulate this and drywall it. But for now, I gotta get a dimension from the back side of this post right here down to the end of the wall. Figure that out, and I still have to figure out how I'm coming through the wall. I'm probably just gonna run it's blue aluminized, or maybe it's solid aluminum. It's a blue line made by Oh, who is it? Rapidair. If I can poke a hole in this and come through and bend it and then bracket it right to this, I'm good to go all the way up to the top. I would need to put a T in it right there and come across the top of this so I got air over in this area. I'd kind of like to have an air outlet right here, one over by, there'll be a sink over there, so if I wanted to wash stuff out and blow out orifices, that sounds weird, but regardless, if I wanted to do that over there, I'd like to have some air over there. So it's kind of hard to say what I got to do until I either have some of that, or maybe I should just go with my old idea and run a black pipe, run a nipple through the wall, elbow, and then elbow it up. I kind of hate to use the black pipe though. Decisions. Well, I think I'm going to go look on the Rapidair website and see what kind of fittings they have. Maybe I can have a fitting mounted to the wall here and one mounted to the wall in there, run my inlet line up to that, and then just run the blue stuff on this side as well. I don't have a whole lot of space to do it. Yeah, I'll have to get that figured out tonight, because if I want to do that, I really got to get something ordered right away so I can get it done. Okay, I measured the wall, and it is 12 feet 2 inches, which is no big deal. I'm going to leave the 2 inches on this post right here, so it'll leave that much uncovered, which is no big deal. And that's probably where that pipe will have to run as well. I got to get behind this pipe. So I'm going to go check their website. And again, I don't have enough time to unbox that, so maybe I'll have a little time later on today, but I have a meeting to get to, so I got to get out of here. Let's take another look back in here. I can't really see all that much. This outer wall, this is in between the posts. It's flush with the front of the post, I believe. Or no, it's actually a hair in front of the post, so that the drywall can just go right across the front. That right there, that box right there, is for a thermostat, and then we have a built-in heater down here, and the thermostat goes down to 35 degrees. So it'll keep it just above freezing in here, so we can store like glue and stuff like that in here. Glue, paint, all that stuff you don't want to freeze, but you really don't want in a house if you don't have a basement. So, yeah, it would be so much easier if I just went up to something that went right through the wall and then over. I thought I'd be able to go up through this, but there's just so much there, and then there's wires up on top of there, so I don't want to mess with that. I could see what the wires look like on the other side and not have to deal with them. I also have that stuff in the 3D model, but it's not exact. It's just roughly where they need to be. See, this is the 220 line for the compressor right here. So the compressor is gonna, this is all mounting blocks for all the electronics on the other side. So I have real detailed drawings of this. All I got to do is figure out where that hole is. It's going to go right into the box on the other side, come down, and then the compressor is going to be hardwired into the bottom of the lockout switch. So it really looks like my best bet is either up in that corner there, which puts me real close to the corner inside, or possibly right here. I have to be enough away from the compressor. The compressor's right here. I need to have the line curl and go up. I don't know if you've seen the line while you were in there, but I believe it's sitting there. Yeah, that's it up on the top. You have to have a flexible line like this going into the compressor because of the vibration. If you hard plumb it, you're just going to end up breaking your line. So where it comes out on the other side actually has to do with this as well. The inlet's on the other side, so I really should move this over kind of into place and then see where that wants to arc and go through. I'm going to guess it's right over here somewhere. So more work. This is still attached to a pallet. This thing weighs in the 300-pound range. It's really heavy. So getting this off of that pallet and in place is going to be kind of a difficult job. Maybe I don't have to do it. I can just figure it out from the hose and from the location on here. I got some pretty interesting stuff for this too. Anti-vibration feet and whatnot. So that'll be an interesting project. Okay. Well, that is going to wrap it up. Make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon so you receive notice when we post new videos. I'll be putting stuff out on this nearly daily coming up. Thanks for watching and have a great day.